Good Thursday afternoon. I hope everyone's doing well today. I have Chris Hovey here for the Smoky Mountain Showdown post show. Chris, how are you doing today?
Doing very good, Isabella. How are you guys doing again today?
Great. Okay, well, this is the post show held. The tournament was in Tennessee, Gatlinburg, and I've only heard great things about the location, and this just reinforces that. Look at that picture, the mountains in the back with your team, and they just look so happy. Tell me about how the event went for this stacked. I mean, you brought a lot of people.
We did. So this was our biggest event of the year. I was very proud to bring of about a total of 80 people to this event to the mountains from Florida. So we got 80 of us to get in vehicles lined up behind each other, and we went to the mountains, and that's exactly what we did. We came back with 39 first place, 23 second place, 14 third, 8 finalists, and of that we came out with 6 overall grand championships in black and underbelt divisions. So it was an extremely amazing event for our team.
I know that you're used to bringing dozens of people, but 80 is just off the charts. What was it like inside the event?
So for this event, I actually got to be the coordinator at this event. So I helped Keith and Crystal out with this event big time. So for me, it was actually unique. Usually I'm the coach that's running on the floor, running back and forth and helping my team. And this one, for the first time, brought some humility to me for real to watch my kids actually take over the team and with the office manager actually get it all done, get them where they were supposed to be. It was actually very unique to see the team come together. Something I'm not used to seeing from an actual administrative side. Being a coordinator, usually, like I said, you're right there on the floor with your teammates. You know where they're supposed to be at. You know where they're going. So it was very unique for us, but it pulled off. It was very successful. And I actually can't wait for the next one. It was actually quite unique.
Yeah, have you been to this one before?
Actually, yes. This is the second year that the Smoky Mountain Showdown has been held in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. This is their third time holding the event overall. So this was my actual second time going. So I've been there pretty much since they've started in Gatlinburg, and we will continue that event until its existence, which I'm assuming, based on our numbers this year, will be for a very, very, very long time. We had hundreds and hundreds of competitors. Our numbers were stacked way up. We had increases from our competition sales to our spectator sales. Everything was way up and it went very smooth. I was extremely excited for this event.
And then you also just caught some wildlife too. I mean, being from Florida, I'm sure it was a fun experience.
And that was incredible. We actually rented a couple of cabins right there in the mountains and we put our teams in the cabins. We were side by side. And it seemed like every day that we were there since we pulled in on that Thursday until that Sunday, really, really late night, we seen bears, family of bears, cubs. It was absolutely incredible. It was one of those unique things that those kids will never forget, which is why we pick some of these tournaments. It's really just the location to get them out of there. In Florida, you see beaches and pine trees.
Mhm.
That's all you get here. And depending on which part of the state you are, is what you're going to get. When you're down south, you got nothing but the open beaches. And when you get up to North Florida, it's nothing but pine trees and trees. So it was extremely cool and unique for sure.
Yeah, I know there are only just a handful of tournaments in Tennessee, and so this is one of them that you need to get out to. In terms of competition wise, with it being so big and relatively early, I mean, if this is the third year, for there to be so many competitors, how did it run from an administrator, standpoint?
So actually, from the tournament, they were telling us some overall things in the beginning as we were setting up as we switched to Juventex this year. I absolutely love Juventex. I think those people are absolutely incredible. Moosh and Diego did a fantastic job helping me be able to get things around. Friday, on the first day of competition, I kind of set things up similarly to some of the other big world tour tournaments as far as the scheduling is concerned. It actually went really well. Friday, we got out of there. I believe we were out of there with all of the extreme creative and musical divisions and the team sync, all of the team fighting. We were out of there by 5 o'clock on Friday, which gave people plenty of time to go down to the strips in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and enjoy the shops. And then Saturday, we had our primary traditional divisions, our traditional weapons, our traditional forms, and our point fighting. And that actually ran out beautifully with all of our grands. We were out of there by 5 o'clock on Saturday, too. So it was, again, another time that everybody went and enjoyed the weekend with their family. They came and had fun at the tournament, but then when they were done with the tournament, they had plenty of time to be able to go and enjoy the shops, sightsee, see all those lovely bears and stuff that Gatlinburg has to offer. I know the elk were out there big time. It was an incredible, incredible weekend for sure.
What does preparing for a tournament look like, for your team, regardless of, skill level? How do you lead up to an event?
It's miserable, honestly. My people, they know, and I'm going to take this right out of Murphy Gonzalez's book. He's one of the top fighting coaches in the world. I don't care what anybody says. I respect Murphy very much, and he will tell you that in order to be good at fighting, you have to embrace physical conditioning. So, in order for my teams to get ready, there's a lot of physical activity that goes into it. It's not just stand there and work your kata over and over. It's getting after it. They're running 3 to 4 miles a day. They're getting all of their stretching in, and then they get all of their fighting drills on top of their kata and their weapons. It's extremely important for my individuals. You'll never see somebody from Sansei just do one fighting division, or you'll never see somebody from Sansei just do a forms division. My competitors are required equally across the board to compete in all three. That gives a well-balanced competitor, and it also teaches them that they have to embrace new things and new opportunities. So you're not just going to go on Team Sansei and just fight. You're not going to go and just do weapons. You need to be a balanced individual. So for the preparation, I would say it's very miserable, but it's very rewarding. And at the end of it, that's why, because you put them through the hard stuff there, and basically they go to the tournament and it's just a breeze. And I say that respectfully, because if you make them work very, very hard throughout the week before the tournament even begins for months leading to, that's generally what happens, and you yield those results. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Everybody says I'm a great coach and I have a great team. There's better coaches and there's better teams out there. The only thing that we can do is keep going, see where our weaknesses are, adjust them, and when we get back to the dojo and pick up the pace, that's all we can do.
Right, and the numbers just reflect that. How many first places again?
We came back with a total of 39 first.
39, and then a number of different placements coming in after that with some overall grands, which is great. Does that just, how do you feel after coming home back on the road? You have a drive ahead of you though. What's going through your thoughts after this tournament?
Well, there's two things that always go through my mind, and everybody looks at me kind of silly when I say this. There's two main things I look at. One, how well we actually did. I let them embellish in it, let them love it for a minute, and then we go right back to the drawing board, and that's where everybody looks at me. The moment one of my competitors walks out of the ring and they got a 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, that's great. But in my brain is, where's the 10? There's always something else that you can achieve beyond that. So it's important for me to keep my competitors humble as well. I never want a competitor that's going to step in the wing and know that they're going to win just right off the bat. I want them to know that it's hard work. It takes dedication. It takes teamwork. It takes a village to get it done. And that's all that we try to do. That's the main thing. I think about where our weaknesses are and where we can strengthen those and how we can accomplish that before the next event.
I know one of the things that we have chatted about in the past is picking your tournaments. You're very mindful about which ones to go to. If you're going to have a crew of 80 people, you can't take them everywhere. What is, we might have chatted about it before, but let's cover it again. What are the maybe top three things you look for when saying, yeah, we're going to go to this one?
Well, the first thing is going to be location. Location is everything. If it's just going to be in a normal gym that we can drive through on a Saturday, I can almost guarantee you I'm not going to end up showing up with our team. Now, if you're on a beach, or you're in the Grand Canyon, or you're in a tourist spot, you're in New York by where the Twin Towers used to be. I believe there was a tournament a long time ago called the Twin Tower Classics.
Mm-hmm.
Those events where the kids can actually see something, I can guarantee you I will summons up the courage to figure out how we're going to raise the money to get the team there. But for us, it's really the memories that the kids can make. It goes beyond the mat. And the tournament venue itself has to be something that the kids can do in addition to the tournament. When we go, we don't get to get out much. So when we do get to take 80 people, we want it to be worthwhile. We want it to be something that the kids and the families are going to be able to remember and talk about for a long period of time. And then that in return keeps them excited for more tournaments. When you go to local tournaments and you're on a series And respectfully, there are some that there's a tournament every weekend.
Mhm.
I get it. I love it, but it's not something that we're trying to do. We don't want to be on a circuit where we're going to have to be obligated every single week. We want it to be a vacation thing so that the kids can stay active. Everybody asks how I'm able to keep 80 people on a team. It's by not doing exactly that. You don't go to a weekend tournament every single weekend. You break them up, you make them magical events. You bring that spirit of warriorship back and what the real purpose of martial arts was for, and everybody has a fantastic time.
Okay, great. Well, then, speaking of which, what was your favorite thing about the Smoky Mountain Showdown?
Okay, so there was a couple of things that were highlights for me, and one of them I'm going to say anyway. So, this was the first time that I went to a tournament, and we, like I said, remember I told you about the baby bears that were there? So
Hmm.
there were baby bears that were there, and they were coming up to the cabin, and one of the baby bears did something up on the ledge, and I reached over and I got to pet it. So I'm going to be honest with you, to touch a bear in the wild was absolutely incredible. I do not take it back. I am not sorry for it. I thought it was incredible.
Oh my goodness, that is insane. What a memory to have.
It was
I
a lot
mean,
of fun, and the students were there, so they got to see it too. So it was a great time.
yeah, I don't even, you can't get that in Florida.
You can't.
Cool. Okay. Well, then, what is the next tournament on your guys's and your team's agenda, your list as we wrap up? Kind of we're in the back half of the season.
Absolutely. So I have two events left for the year. One is going to be in Daytona Beach, actually in 2 weeks. That one's planning and shaping out to be a really good one. I got a couple of fighters and forms and weapons people going to enter that one and see how we do. And then we were invited to Dubai. That is something that I'm still looking into. To take children out of the country is a totally different scenario. It's something I'm definitely working on, but we're going to definitely work on that in the future. For as far as the rest of this fiscal year is concerned, I think we're going to round out our last two, one in Daytona, and I think there's one in Clearwater Beach in November. And those are our last two tournaments for this fiscal year.
Nice. Okay. Well, congratulations to your whole team, each and every one of them who made the ride out to beautiful Tennessee. And and that is their award that you have here.
So there's a couple of them. So I just wanted to mention they're very unique, unlike the regular, just the kicking guy, which is okay, I guess, for some people, but they're unique. So they gave out plaques this year. So for first place individuals, but then for the Grands Awards and for team awards, because we do something a little bit different there. So the team that brings the most competitors, they get a special Smoky Mountain Showdown team award. And we actually won that based on the competitors.
Mhm.
And it is amazing, by
Oh
the way.
my gosh. That is gigantic. That is so cool.
It is, and they've got the actual bear on it, which was really unique. And then what was also unique, unlike last year, because last year for the Grands divisions they gave out the bear paws, which I
Hmm.
thought was really unique. They stepped it up on a huge level this year, and all the underbelt winners that won, that was their plaques.
Wow, I mean, that's just a smaller version, but still as grand.
Absolutely. And then the black belt grands, because I had a couple of black belts win the black belt divisions, their bears looked very similar to these.
Wow, yeah, that's really cool. Very unique.
Very hand carved, all unique awards, not something that you can purchase online on eBay. They were very specific and unique to the tournament, which I thought was incredible. Keith and Crystal did a fantastic job ordering those bears and getting it all done. It was an incredible event for sure.
Amazing. All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on to the Power Chat series and to talk about the Smoky Mountain Showdown. Excited for the picture for the next event that you guys hit up.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, Isabella, and we're more than welcome to talk with you anytime. Have a great day.
Great. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, we are offline.